Welcome back to Arrakis. Today our goal is to relocate to the new region and find the location and do the trial 2 and unlock a compactor, static compactor that will in turn unlock an opportunity to build more advanced gear. I already disassembled most of the equipment in my base and ready for the relocation. I built and installed the inventory space on my sand bike and filled pretty much everything to the rim except for one chest. And I'm really hoping that I'm not gonna get eaten by the worm. So, I'm ready to make the trip. But before I do, I forgot to do one thing here on this map, and is to unlock the trooper skill that gives me a hook. So I'm gonna quickly do that mission, unlock it, and then gonna relocate. But first we need to find a trading post, which is just around the corner. Pick up the mission. Now, who do we need to talk to? I think this guy is here.
Look at the way you stand. No discipline, no confidence. I've killed 1,000 like you on the battlefield.
Sure, well, share your experience with us.
Well, a little respect with some good sense in the proportion. There's something here I can work with. But don't despair. Salvation is at hand. I can show you how to fight. I can teach you how to kill. And it will only cost you a little pain.
Let's do it.
Then listen closely. During the Battle of Arrakis, I was drugged and kept out of it by a group of conspirators. For the sake of my honor, I've spent the last 8 years tracking down and destroying them, one by one. Who knows how the Battle of Arrakis would have turned out if I hadn't been kept away. And now, I have reason to believe the conspirators are nearby. Track them down, kill them. My thirst for vengeance has been slaked by 1,000 flasks of cheap beer, but it is still my price for training. Do this for me, and I'll set your feet on the path of the trooper.
Sounds good. Let's do it. Should be quick and easy. Now that we have a good gear and a rifle. And which way do we need to go? Let's have a quick look. Alright, that's not too far. So the trooper skill is pretty much easy to unlock, and it gives us a hook that allows us to propel and climb and also take advantage of the suspensor. I highly recommend to unlock it before leaving for the next area. Also keeping an eye on the energy or the fuel. First version of the Zen bike is quite underpowered. Doesn't have a booster that we will build once we cross over. I need to take care of my water. Let's quickly have a drink. And also we arrived at destination. The other thing I crafted is a bike backup tool. Oh, it doesn't work because I have inventory slots and they're full. We can't back up the bike while it has items stored in it, which is unfortunate.
Identify yourself.
ID check. And always make sure that you take out blood to get water. And I'm guessing we're going in there. No, I do want to be hydrated for this. And it's done. The next target is about 200 meters away from us. 300. And go through here. I don't really see a path unless it's around the corner. But I don't want to risk my bike. I reckon the next target is over there.
I see someone.
And I believe there's one more. And then we're done. So I'm gonna pass through here and then I'm gonna cross at this point. This is the shortest path to there. Want to minimize the time I spent in the open sand where the worm can spawn and hit me. But this gap should be fine. And also I'm listening to hear where the worm crawls around. So I reckon we're gonna go this way. I wonder if it's in there. Looks like I need to go there. 100 meters. Yeah.
Where is everyone?
Too easy. Oh, is it not it? One more. I hear somebody else here. Where are they? There you go. Nice. Doesn't look like there's anything of value here. I think we're gonna trace back the same way we came up here, all the way back to the trading post, and it should be a quick, short run. So I'll see you there shortly.
Back again, like the sour tang of rancid wine. It's over then. Good. Did they deserve to die? Who knows? But the deed is done regardless. Oh, they took me to a bar. Got me drunk on spice beer and plied me with samuta. When the battle started, I could barely walk. Killing them changes nothing of who I am. But sour wine and sour vengeance are both to my tastes. Now shut your mouth and let me train you. I'd swear you're a fully trained trooper pulling one over on me. And I can't figure out the angle on such a scam. Who are you? Nah, I don't want to know.
I now have a troop unlocked. Let's go and check it out. And I'll unlock the Shigawire Claw. That can be useful in place of the fast escape, depending on what we're doing. And just to trial out what it does. Quite handy. And now the moment of truth. Crossing the biggest gap on sand, on a sand bike to the new destination. And the best spot to cross here, as far as I know, is roughly here. And then we're gonna go across. I like this spot because it's kind of more or less straight and I can see where I'm going. So let's get to it. We have enough fuel to get across. We more or less have enough water as well. And then we're trying to make all the way to those rocks. And I want to try to be at the maximum speed when I hit the area where the sand can detect me. And then that's it. That's a ticket in one direction, pretty much. There's a middle around here, so I can potentially turn around. And now we're kind of halfway through, so will we make it or not? I hope we will. I think we look good now. We are safe. We need to research advanced construction kit. Construct and interact with the advanced Sub-fief. Now, I will build it. Not right here. I want to make to the trading center. But before I do, let's try to unlock this region and see if we can uncover a bit of a map. We may not be high enough to do that. This is where the claw helps. you shitting me? I forgot to make ammunition. Damn it. Alright, well, I roughly remember where it is. First I need to make... I think the trading center is just somewhere around there. So... I need to go basically that direction. First. Towards a giant hammer. Need to be super careful not to get into this area. This is basically like a drum sand, which is gonna make a lot of noise and attract the sandworm almost instantly. This could be a good loot, but I'm just not prepared for it. I'm way underpowered. And don't want to lose my bike just yet. Now I'm just going to be driving around until here. And I should be able to see the trading center, the trading post from a distance. It would be easy to see it in night, but I can already see the lights over there. It's a shame I didn't build the ammunition for the probe. Zantaral surely likes to shoot ships down.
You might have seen my little pyrotechnics display, Offworlder, but whether you did or not, the long and short of it is that I must go, and quickly. The Sardaukar have my scent, and the Emperor's hounds are not known for their mercy. I do not know when we will meet again. Continue to follow your path. Let the desert teach you as you walk in the footsteps of the Fremen. Find allies. It is hard to survive without friends. And remember, Arrakis will sharpen you, Offworlder. Make sure you become the right kind of blade.
And that's a trading post. This is where I want to go and build my base around there. There is another drum sand right in there, so I'm gonna put a marker to know which way to head, and it's pretty much just across the sand valley, looking for the sandworms, and again, want to hit it at maximum speed possible. Later on it will be easy because we're gonna have a booster. And we should be relatively safe now. made it. Trading post is over here. And let's see if there is a spot available to build a base on this side. Got enough salvage metal. The way to deal with sun in an open area is just to hop on the bike, hit a reset, and hop off, and we're gonna build our base over here. Now we need to build an advanced. Looking for a spot. I get a stroke. Looks like I need to go this way. Maybe rotate it a little. Now keep in mind the advanced Sub-fief has a taxation mechanics implemented for it. We will need to pay taxes, but in order to avoid it, we can destroy the other two Sub-fief. In fact, the game will force us to do that anyway. But let me first build the foundation. I'll need to get myself granite. I'm gonna start with a 3x3. It's gonna give me enough space as a starting point. I've got water on me, so right now I'm not too fussed about getting sunstroke. So I'm gonna quickly build this out and see you in a minute. Alright, that was unfortunate. Our construction got interrupted by the sandstorm. I'm waiting it out. I'm also quite overheated with a sunstroke, but I'm under cover and fairly safe. I survived the storm, but I ran out of building material, so I'm collecting my granite. Our house is ready. We need to power it up. For that we need a power generator. Home sweet home. The next thing we need to do is abandon our bases, the base that we built in Hagga, Basin South. But before I do want to go back and pick up my gear from there. We can abandon this one from the starting location. We don't have anything there. But I do want to go back and pick up the gear and sell it or dismantle it before we progress. So I'm gonna do a quick run. Should be fairly safe. I've got now my buggy saved up. If I die, then that should not be too painful, and the closest path here is basically gonna go here and then make all the way back to the base and then come back. Alright, I'm gonna do a quick dash to the old base, pick everything up, pick all the gear. It's not very valuable, but early in the game, everything kind of valuable to begin with. There's a sandworm. And we want to go this way. That's a cool looking base. Looks futuristic. That's the trading post that we're going towards to. That's a base, look like it's being abandoned. So we're going pretty much this way. Those markers are very useful for avoiding drum sand, and just give a general guidance where to go. The drum sand is somewhere on that side of the marker. And the trading post is right through that hole. Oh, looks like another player. Hang on. Is that another player? Or is it a NPC?
Enemy found!
Oops.
I need...
Goodbye. Jesus. Shielded NPCs. Wasn't ready for that. Let's just make it. Oh boy. And I made it. Another successful cross. Let's disassemble everything. But first, make sure I've got all the water out. Technically there is not a huge value coming back and disassembled everything, because it's just mostly scrap metal and granite. But I will get a bit of micro and plasteel fiber from disassembling some of the gear in the storage box. But having a backup weapon without having to craft one is nice. And that's the main reason I got back. Just saves me a little bit of grinding at the beginning, but ultimately we could have just abandoned this base. And now all we need to do is look at the second trial. Let's go back home to the new base. I think I still need a bunch of copper for a few items, so I will collect some as I pass by it, so I don't have to do a special run later on. That doesn't look good. I forgot to keep an eye on my fuel tank, but I should have enough to make it all the way back to the base. Uh-oh. Am I gonna make it? Yeah, we made it. Still alive. Another successful cross. So the game plan is to go and make the prop, scan the area, locate the second trial, and then proceed from there. Basically, I want to get to the aluminium as fast as possible. For that, we need to upgrade our cutter array a few times. We need to go to the iron, then steel, and then we're going to be at aluminium. And I'm planning to basically just try to survive off the land, whatever I find, and not spend too much time crafting things. That's another area that gets my heart pumping when I cross on a bike without booster. But we're safe now. Running on fumes. The first thing I need to do is to build a battery when we get back. And then hopefully I can climb this rock and reveal this area of the map. Let's see if I have a battery stored somewhere. Here you go. Fuel up. At 100%. Unload all the gear. How did I end up with almost no space? Let's build another container, and before I forget, I need to build more survey props. Exploration. In fact, I'm gonna make 2 props. Let's load it up. That's done. And now we can scan this area. We need to climb probably all the way up to the top. Maybe not. We'll see. When I fire the prop, it will show me how much further I need to climb. And this is a scenario where the hook is very handy, climbing these verticals. So shoot, propel, then climb. Nice. They had to climb too far, that's good. Be aware of quicksand and drum sand. Quicksand is actually worse than drum sand. Drum sand you can at least turn around and go back if you're not too far from the stable soil. I don't need to go back. Oh yeah, I need to deliver sandbike parts at some point. I think the second trial is somewhere on that side of the map, so maybe I'll go quickly unlock that, but I'm actually quite close here, so I'm just gonna make another survey probe and then go and scan this adjacent area as well. I think I picked up some iron ore. We're missing iron ore, yep. So, and we're gonna start consuming a lot of water. So water is gonna become a bottleneck. I need to be collecting water all the time, and also make sure that I'm hydrated because the fight's gonna get tougher. In fact, let's take care of that now. I'm gonna deposit all water first. Bear with me for a moment, it all will make sense. Get rid of this small container. Oops, just got rid of the wrong container. And now I'm gonna fill the main container. This container has more water space, so that's the one that I wanna carry on me. And now I'm good to go to unlock the neighboring area. Just over there. Should be nice and quick. We will spend more time on that side as we unlock the steel tier and progress through the storyline. But for now I'll do a quick survey scan and then we'll progress towards the second trial. You can also find a Menton basic trainer in one of those structures if you want to unlock that ability. I personally prefer to focus on Bene Gesserit, Planetologist and Trooper skills in the early stage of the game, and then I go towards the Swordmaster and finally Menton for some mix. Let's try to climb that rock and see if it's high enough. Surely that's gonna be high enough to climb. And I believe my inventory is empty, so I should be able to pack my bike. Excellent. I need to climb another 50 meters. Now that hook claw is super useful, so highly recommend to unlock it as early as possible. Makes the climbing life very easy. Another 17 meters. Four meters. Oops. Almost fall down. New survey. And this is our Hagga Rift. Quite cool place. I like it. But we don't need to go there right now. Right now we need to go sort of in that direction. There is another region just close here that we may want to unlock at some point, but maybe right now let's focus on the storyline and progress through that so we can unlock new research. I'm gonna go back to the base and wait until the dawn to preserve the water as I explore the new region throughout the night. And now it's dawn, I'm ready to go. I made another scan probe just in case. And the next destination is a second trial. I'm just gonna go on this side. And cross. Early game, it's better to just get on with the storyline as quick as possible to tick a few boxes and unlock the research. And that it will really simplify the life on Arrakis. And that was just a corner of the drum set that we experienced.
Shields up!
Oops. No, not stopping by. Let's see where we're going. We're going right here. I think we may actually need to go that way. Not quite sure. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna cross. That's a radiation zone. That looks like easy side to climb. Grab a bike and start climbing. We need to climb almost 100 meters. From here. I think I'm gonna fall down. Unless I can... Ah, yes. Good. Let's see if this is high enough. Interesting. I was pretty sure the second trial was somewhere here. Oh, it's actually here. So, for the trial runs, we have 8 of them that we need to add sites that we need to visit, and each site is highlighted with this sort of violet color. So the second trial is here. Maybe there is a third or fourth this direction. I'm pretty sure there's one in that area, but looks like we prematurely moved into this location. So let's go back. Shit. I don't want to get caught in that. And the fastest way to get there... Oh boy. That's what happens when you get distracted and get caught. Run. Drum sent. We escaped. Well, change of plans. We are now going this way. That's another patrol ship that we don't want to be part of. And we need to go this way. That's the entrance. Also up on the seals for a free micro sandwich fabric. Looks like I'm here. The second trial. Let's do it. Let's sniff some sand, get high.
What is the purpose of thought? Ibn Qutayba. Speed is a device of Shaitan. Do you understand what? Our God gave us the gift of thought, and the words of the Kitab al-Ibar. Knowledge without action is empty. Be laqayf.
The second trial was all about learning how to use a compactor.
Our wanderings brought us to Rossak. We were persecuted. Our families burned in the fires of their ignorance. We learned the cost of compassion. Never to forgive, never to forget.
Make sure that you hit the right area to extinguish the fire.
Some were sent to work in mines. The tunnels were unstable. We learned the cost of action. Never. It was on Rossak that the Sayadina created the poison drug. Words became words. Through thought and action combined, we learned to create. gift of a kindly god is a fearful thing. Did not God give us Shaitan to force action? Where is action needed?
Oh shit. That what happens when you hurry up. Luckily, in this state, we don't die.
Thought and action lead to creation. What is the purpose of thought? To honor the creator. What is the purpose of thought? To honor the creator.
So the compactor is quite important unlock in this game. It allows us to collect spice sand, and we'll need that to build sort of silicon blocks that will require to build a bunch of components and items and workstations. To now go back to the base and craft the static compactor. We also need to research and fabricate Curreray Mk1 so we can access and harvest iron ore. And then we need to build a Mk2 Curreray. This tool is quite important to save and restore structures. Basically allows us to save the base. If you just started, then there is no point of building it in the next in your first week, because once you place the base, there is a 7 days cooldown before you can relocate it. I like to unlock things as they come required. I do want to have a recycler because it's going to be an extra source of materials. And then my passive dispenser belt is about to expire, so we need to research a repair station. That will require a bit of a grind for iron, but there's a lot of iron nearby, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then we need to actually research the passive dispenser belt in order to be able to fix it. At some point the game will ask us to research the scanner, but not right now. Right now we're good. And in order to progress through to steel, we'll need to spend 100 points, so we'll need to level up. We might need to start doing side missions and things like that. Improved blood purifiers gonna help quite a bit. But first thing I'll need is Dew Reaper, and that will enable me to collect more water and also better blood extractor as well. So I'm gonna unlock these two things, and I'll see how far I can survive without crafting gear and just live off what I can pick up and fix and maintain. That's gonna be, I think, the theme in this game. And water container is gonna be critical for us because we'll need a lot of water. From equipment, we'll see what we pick up and then I'll unlock as we go along. Alright, let's go to the base, craft the compactor. cave entrance has resealed, so let's grab the microfabric. We'll need ore, more copper ore to build a bunch of things. Now this is where we need to start watching our thermal properties to make sure we don't overheat and don't lose too much water. Pick up a little iron where we can. Now, which direction do we need to go? We're actually not too far from our base, which is good. Fuel cells. We need to power the base. The other thing I want to get fairly quickly to is a buggy. Buggy improves mining capability. Pretty much doubles how much we can mine from each node. And with increased storage capacity, it makes mining for iron and basic materials super easy and super quick. I'm just stopping and collecting iron that I can find lying nearby. I also want to build a Mk2 buggy, but maybe in this run actually not gonna focus on that. I'll just put a booster onto my buggy and upgrade the engine, and that's about it. So collecting scrap metal as I drive past. Come back for those iron nodes once I create a new Curreray. That's why I like to set up my next base in this region, because there's a lot of access to iron, and there is also going to be easy access to the material required for steel. Let me grab a bit more batteries. But there is a base there. I'm gonna give them a visit. See if I can take them on. Test my skills. Get some blood. nothing else is here, I think. Right. Deposit all. Deposit all blood, and now pretty much gonna be going in circles, making things, building things, trying to level up our gear. Curreray Mk1 to access iron, and then immediately after that I need 10 iron to build a second version. The other benefit of upgrading those Curreray as soon as possible is because they increase the yield. So for example, this one gives us 48 copper and salvage metal and granite and 36 iron, and this one increases everything quite a bit by a good margin and gives us access to the next tier. Curreray Mk2 in fact will give us access to the steel tier, so I'm gonna craft it as soon as I can, and I don't think I'm far from it. In fact, just need a bit of iron ore, craft it. So let's go get more iron ore. I think I saw an iron node somewhere. Just over here somewhere. Over there. Need to pay our taxes. Now we need to start watching for water. And that reminds me, I need to build a dew reaper that will enable me collecting water from those plants into the canteen. For that we need silicon, so before I can build that, I need to build a compactor. We need iron for the compactor. Let's see how much iron we made so far. Refine iron ore. Done. What do we need to do next? The next we need to research Holtzman Shield 2 and then fabricate it. I believe this is under the defense. Holtzman Shield. So we're still in the phase where it's better not to jump and start building things, because we need to build those anyway. And we need to collect a bunch of things,
Sector weather alert. A large
which gonna take time at the beginning. 10 particle capacitors, that's quite valuable early game. Takes time to collect them. Later it's gonna be easier. So if I were to build Holtzman Shield already and then picked up this mission, then I would have spent double the amount. But luckily we don't have to. I need 15 iron ingots for the Holtzman Shield. I should have enough, but I will still need more iron, so... And while it's being processed, I'll go and get more iron ore. I'll need heaps of iron, and then also water will become a problem as well. I need to collect some blood. Oh, that's right, and I have storm coming. Shit. Okay. Let's go home. Oh boy. My base is just over there. made it. Made it just in time. Water is a blocker now. We just run out of it. So in order to make more iron, I need more water. Should have enough for the Holtzman Shield. Where are we at with the compactor? Need 6 more iron ingots. Let's activate the shield. And now we need to research the resource scanner. And build it. And then collect the flower scent. Let's go and collect more iron. Gonna pay these guys a visit, get more blood. Okay, let's fight. Oh shit, 2 shield.
Found you! I've got you! You're not leaving here alive! Hush! It'll all be over soon! They're here!
Okay, that was not too painful. Let's grab more blood. One more. Actually, I've just run out of base blood, so let's head back. Where is my bike? Lots of grinding. Picking things up, delivering things. We need to go and collect sand. The sand is our current blocker, and the water, access to water is important. And now we're blocked by water, so we can't craft any more iron. Deposit all blood. Oh, and I did research the deconstructor, so what do I need to build it? Nice, I can actually build this one. Let's just whack it here. At some point I will organize things a little bit better. And of course we run out of power. So let's whack it here. Now, a quick way to distribute the power is to use a refuel option. And it will distribute whatever fuel you have equally across all resources that require fuel. So that's the best way to go about that. Now, I don't actually need any of this clothing, and I'm gonna get rid of all of that. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this. I'm gonna keep the knife as a backup. I'm gonna leave a gun as a backup as well. But scavenger boots, scavenger steel suits. Like if I'll die, then I can assemble it fairly quickly. And in fact, I'll have better materials to assemble things. But I do want to have at least the gun and a knife to run back in a battle. So let's get rid of that. Plus the steel is also something a bit grindy, and it's nice to get some back. Grab the glove. Let's go crazy. But before I do, let me see. Yeah, power pack is pretty much done. The suspensor belt will replace. And the rest I'm gonna destroy. I'm gonna pick up other few useful things. Advanced servox, we're gonna be using them to build stuff, so it's quite handy. Practical capacitor is also a useful thing to assemble. Microfiber. Now I have 4 of them. I'm gonna keep one, and the rest we're gonna disassemble in exchange for the material. It's not a lot, but it still makes a difference. Can save you an extra run early on in the game. Alright, I think that's good enough. Now I'm just gonna quickly rearrange things. I'll place money here. I am happy with this. Always deposit your money back in your base, otherwise when you die you lose it. We're almost ready to collect the flower sand. All we need is a bit of more ammo, and then we need to craft the compactor. There is no such thing as too much ammunition, especially early on when the weapons are weak and we need to dangle a lot of ammo into the target. And while it's being crafted, I also gathered a bunch of iron, and we should be good to create a compactor now. So let's take care of that, and then we can go and get the spice sand. Now, how are we going for power? Let's have a quick look. Going to manage vehicle. We have 57% fuel. Our threads needs to be fixed soon. Now, where do we have power cells? Grab one of those. Fuel up. And then we can go and search for the sand. I believe we need to scan it, even though it's kind of obvious where it is. And the best location, as far as I know, one of the best locations, is just here. So we're gonna go down all this way and go towards this ship. So I'm gonna set a marker and ride towards it. also need a bit more power cells because my base is actually low on the power. It's about 2 days, but I want to make sure it's topped up. Now that sounded like the spice meteor or the ship. Oh no, that's another spice erupted. Let's have a quick look how far it is. We don't need it now, but we will need it a lot later on in the game. And it's actually better to collect it if possible whenever you see it, but it looks like it's in the middle of nowhere, so I'm not gonna take a chance right now. It's gonna get much easier with Omniopter. Okay, let's go towards the spice scent. You can see the white smoke on top of the sand. That's where I'm heading. Right over there, I think. Oh shit. I think I just shut my pants. Okay, that was scary. I'm also running out of water, getting quite dehydrated, but I do have a water on me, so I'm good. There are these guys that give us a mission. We'll visit them later. For now, let's focus on the spice scent. And there's none this time. But I thought I saw some from a distance. Maybe not this time, that's unfortunate. A good location for the spice scent. Quite close to the shore. I'm not gonna go there, it's quite far. Now this buggies is a good source of the armor plates. I'm gonna pick that. Hang on, that's actually somebody's buggy. It does not look very healthy. It looks all kind of fucked up. Empty. And we don't have access to it. That's a shame. Would have been nice to just take it for a ride. I'm basically looking for a white smoke on the top of sand. And I really want it to be close to the shore. There is a bit more there. Let's see how far it is. Quite far from anywhere safe. Gonna go around like this and then see if I can find something along those lines. This one doesn't look too bad. That's probably our best. Could be our best option. But it's actually in the middle of the drum set. Nah. I'm not gonna do that. Not quite sure. I don't really want to risk it. I can't really escape very quick if it's in the middle of the sand. But I see it from here, it's right there. That's the one that I want. Let's just go and check that location again. Maybe it's just respawned. Here we go. Don't know why it wasn't there when we visit first. But that's the best location to look for it. Alright, now we need to gather it. Can is done. And as you can see, there's no sign of worm yet. Just here where it starts the worm territory. And then here it's a safe space. Let's just get more water and then start collecting. The main issue with this area is it's either usually right in the sun get ourselves some ice. Hello there. So overheating during the sun, during the daytime is a problem. And at night, this is where the patrol ships look around and protect the spice fields. So right now is the best time to be here. It's just before the dawn. There is a shade from the sun, but also the patrol ships are not out yet, but they will be soon. I'll try to collect as much as possible. Scary. I have 700. That's actually more than enough for me right now. But let's just push our luck and squeeze a few more. And it's at dawn, so there's gonna be patrol ships quite soon. Here's one, and that's our cue to get out of here. Don't really want to deal with those guys just yet. In fact, you know what? I'm gonna pick up a mission from these guys. They usually ask you to climb somewhere and set up a totem. So, if I'll pass the area, can then quickly do the mission.
Be you flesh or be you another spice mirage, either way I will speak with you and glean what revelations there are to glean. Flesh is real. Illusion is also real, but I take it you meant that you are of flesh and substance. I will take you at your word. Welcome. Keep your weapons lowered, if you please. I am Ishmer, and I travel with these kind souls before you. We are on a pilgrimage. You've nothing to fear from us. We are on an inward journey, a dark night of the soul that ends in the dawn of revelation. Be welcome, and rest here.
Well, tell me about the pilgrimage.
We would be honored and delighted to share. What would you like to know? We are not. We humbly seek their wisdoms. With the Fremen vanished, we can only do our best to navigate through the murk of our ignorance. We follow one faint echo of their knowledge to the next, like a lonely bat traversing a long, long night. As you well know, death is a constant companion in these wastes. Some of our number have been claimed by the desert. May they find peace. To guide them on their eternal pilgrimage, we place totems at certain locations in the Hagga Basin. Would you help us in this sacred endeavor? Dalvia journeyed from Arson to join our pilgrimage. While scaling a cliff, she suffered a bad fall and passed away in our camp 5 days later. We would take it as a great kindness if her totem was placed high, where it can overlook the basin as the sun rises and sets. Dalvia deserves no less. Our thanks. Dalvia was beloved by all. Her loss was difficult. Now she journeys where we cannot. Safe home. dear friend.
Let's have a quick look. This is a hammerhead. Eventually we will climb there. I'm not gonna make a deliberate trip there, but we're gonna go there as part of one of the missions. For now, let's head home and craft silicon blocks. I'm passing by an outpost and I need a lot more water, so I'm gonna stop by and collect more blood. I need 2 more water sources, or 2 more bodies for donation. That was close one. I'm also gonna eventually craft a better blood collector. Let's continue heading back to the base. Alright, let's make iron and the silicon blocks. Mouse corpses, they will be useful later in the game. Silicon blocks, oh shit, I need water, I need to cancel production of steel so that I can craft this instead. I will get better handle of water eventually as we progress through the tiers. Get this done. Refined silicon blocks as part of tile of sand is done. And now it's reap and stow. Excellent. Now we need to research the Lithojon and fabricate the Reaper Mk2. So we need to research the Lithojon and fabricate the Reaper. And black extractor Mk2 is just 1 ingot away, so let's see if we can quickly squeeze that in. Excellent. And now, guess we need to collect the Reaper with the water with the Reaper, and the timing is quite good at the moment. So this is now where the cistern is required. I'm gonna put one in and go and collect. And the best time of the day to collect is when the clock is on that drop. And right now is actually the best timing for that. One flask is almost full. Okay, that's done. Now I need to bring it to the base. and put it into the water cistern. Now let's whack it somewhere here. And that concludes the Rip and Stow milestone. This is where our paths from Vermillius Gap missions will diverge. We've done the moving on, relocated the base. We've done preparing for the life in Vermillius Gap by upgrading our mining tool and constructing Holtzman Shield. And then we did tiles of sand, building the first silicon block, and then Rip and Stow. All those tasks are aligned with something we need to do anyway to survive on Arrakis, but moving beyond this point, such as constructing the weapons, is generally where my path diverges. I'm gonna actually, in the next session, focus on the third trial. I'm going to start tracking this progress, and a lot of these missions will be auto-completed as we progress through the storyline, because we're gonna be visiting locations that is asking us to visit anyway while we're doing missions. But the main focus will be to get to the end of the trial. That will make our character stronger and give us access to the different water sources. And in the meantime, I think it's a good time for us to take a break and prepare for the next journey ahead. I'm gonna collect more iron and water and maybe rearrange a few things in the base. Thanks for joining for the session, and I'll see you in the next one.